TwicebakedJake is an investor, bro. Don't get me wrong, he is a collector, but his newest video is kind of concerning. Why? Because this might start the end of the boom, Pokemon boom. As everybody knows, TwicebakedJake has 152,000 subscribers, and a lot of people are like kind of not on his side, saying that if he talks about a card, like the next day it runs up to like $50. And a lot of people have made YouTube videos talking about that, and they're not wrong. He is a large creator, but is he large enough to convince thousands and thousands of people to start selling off a little bit of their collection? Not really. I feel like maybe a couple people like listen to that video and ask themselves, yeah, I have a lot of money in Pokemon. I should get some profits while I'm still ahead. And I mean, it's not wrong for them to think about that. TwicebakedJake, or I'm gonna just call him Jake. Jake, he talks about how he wants to have an emergency fund. He wants to, if he wants to go on a vacation with his family, if he wants to, travel the world, he can do that. He literally, in 1 month, he got a yearly salary of an average, person in the United States of America. $46,000 is a crazy amount of money to just be getting from all your investments. This boom is crazy. But, he is selling, I think he said he wants to have at least $250,000 in his collection. So he's going to be selling off around $128,000, which is kind of crazy. He could literally buy a Lamborghini. He could literally buy a whole another house, which is crazy amount of money. But yeah, that's, he doesn't have to sell, but he's just selling just in case something happens. Like, he knows this boom is not going to last forever. Everybody should know this boom is not going to be long lived. It's going to go back to how it used to be. So he is taking his profits early on, that he knows that he has a guaranteed, $128,000 if he sells part of his collection. And for the people, I haven't seen haters commenting on it yet. Look, this person, I'm only going to sell when I need the money. Until then, let it grow. But it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if people want to take their profits, Some people take them high, others take them low. TwicebakedJake is taking them pretty, oh my goodness, $100,000 in Pokemon and basically investing. He is basically investing because he's holding them long term. How long has he had those cards? It's probably been like years and years. He said that he's been tracking his collection for 3 years now. So that just means that he's been investing for 3 years. Why? Because investors, the definition of an investor is buying something and holding it long term, or not an investor, a Pokemon card investor. Buying a product, holding it for like, I don't know, 5 years or more, 2 years or more. It can depend on what kind of person and Pokemon card investor you are. But Jake has had his collection for 3 years. So over those 3 years, it's obviously going to grow in price. And he's basically an investor because right now he's about to sell it. And I feel like that's a good thing that it's selling it, because if it's true that people follow what he does, that means a lot of people are probably going to start selling part of their collection. And that's honestly pretty good for us, because that might end the boom, hopefully. But I'm not trying to like make that a negative thing. I'm not trying to make him be the bad person for selling his collection, part of his collection. But people need to realize that if you need the money, it's okay to sell. You don't have to hold it forever. Like, if you need a car loan, a down payment for something, and you could just if you sell one booster box, you could do a down payment. Just go ahead and do it. I would rather get something, a down payment for a house or a car, instead of keeping it and letting it grow. I know it's going to be expensive in the future, but if I need a car, I would rather have a car or a house to live in instead of having a Pokemon card. You know, it's good to sell. It's healthy to know when to sell instead of just holding it forever. Because right now I feel like this is the highest it's gonna. Probably might go a little bit higher, but once this market turns around and market corrections start happening, people are going to be more afraid, and a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. Why? Because they're going to think that Pokemon is going to go to zero, and they're going to end up selling their collections for 50% of what it's worth right now. So Jake is doing an absolute amazing thing right now, selling his collection. No, he's being careful. He doesn't want to be too greedy, which is pretty good. And that's about it. You know, his collection is worth a lot and it's so beautiful. But at the same time, he talks about how he wants to start a college fund for his kids, and he wants to have money set aside for emergencies. He doesn't want his wife or and kids to be worried if one day something happens. They have the money for it, which is a pretty good thing advice. Sell while you can, not really necessarily meaning sell now, but if you want to take like 20% of your profits, then go ahead, man. No one's stopping you. It's not bad. I mean, do what you got to do. Another thing is really good that he's selling because he has over $300,000 worth of Pokemon cards. And what if something happens to it, like his house burns down and his collection is ruined? He also talks about how he has insurance for his investments or collection, and how it's a lot of money just down the drain every month. Or I'm pretty sure every month you have to pay the insurance. So the lower the cost of the collection, the lower the insurance, which is pretty dang good that he has insurance just in case something happens like that. But yeah, I mean, not bad decision. I would honestly, if I had that much money, I would sell half of it just because this boom, it might be another boom, but it might take 3-4 years. We expected another boom like in 5 or 6 years from now, but holy moly, that 2020 boom, that Logan Paul boom, we did not expect to have another one this soon. Just it took like a whole year before everything went back to normal. But like, holy freaking moly, dude. We have had another boom between 5 years, which is crazy. So what does this mean? There might be another boom, maybe Japanese boom, maybe full arts, another alternate art. It's crazy. But moral of the story, don't be afraid to sell if you want to get a little bit of your profit. It's not wrong to sell now, It's better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, that's about it of this video. I just wanted to tell Jake that, congratulations. That is an amazing opportunity to have that much money in a collectible item. And right now, since the boom is going on, it's like the best time to sell. Why wouldn't you sell when it's high? And then when it goes back down, just buy it again for like, 20% less? You never know. Anyways, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.